We're live. Welcome everyone. Let me just make sure the sound's right. There we go. Yeah, I was just sitting here before we started and just thought, wow, isn't it wonderful that we have this technology that we can just do this, and wherever we are in the world we can just zoom in and be together and do it completely and utterly live. And I just thought, wow, that's just an amazing thing, really. So it's wonderful just to get this opportunity to be together wherever you are in the world. And obviously most people, hello from Australia. It's the other side of the world. Look, I'm in Mexico, so we're covering everywhere. We're going global. Yeah, maybe you can tell everyone where you're from in the chat then. And we can see where everybody is tuning in from right now. So I probably believe it's the morning in Australia. So in Europe it's like getting near to night time, I'm guessing. Yeah, it's the evening. And then here it's the afternoon, it's 3 o'clock. So so some are starting their day, some are having their lunch, and some are in the evening. New York, there we go. New York's on the map. That's just the amazing thing, isn't it, really? We're just already arranging time and space just by being together here. Great Falls, Montana, wow. UK, Utah, 9 PM in UK. Vancouver, Canada. We're covering it all. Washington, Bellingham, Washington. Oh, how wonderful. Yeah, that just feels like a blessing in itself, that no matter where we are, we're always together. As the Course teaches, we can never lose anything, because how can we lose anything if we're all together all the time? We're just completely and utterly one. And that's what we're remembering together. Remembering that truth. Remembering that there can be no separation between us. Time and space cannot separate us. It's an illusion that we can be apart. And so we want to see that truly. Can't just be talking words. Can't just be spouting things off. It needs to be a direct experience. So as always, that's why we're here, aren't we? That's why we all come together. This is the experience. It's not going to be happening tomorrow. It's now. So we're calling forth everything for this very instant to have our minds changed completely. To see that we were fooled. To see that we were wrong about everything. So yeah, there are no words for a direct experience. This is just a complete and utter nonsense that I'm talking, because it cannot convey the truth. But it's always what's behind the words, which is everything. And that's the presence. That's the presence that we all want to step into together right now, wherever we are around the world. So yeah, feel very blessed to be with you. Thank you for joining. And as the title said, you know, my title today was a miracle worker. And that just came to me this morning. And that's what we're all doing now. We're all miracle workers. This is your voice. This isn't a separate voice. We join deeply in the miracle. This is our function here and now. To share the joy, to transmit that joy, the real joy. And it's interesting actually how this sort of come about. It seems to be like a big sort of, what would the word be? Configuration of things to bring me here to this point. Because I think that we can feel unworthy to be miracle workers, because we don't really know what it means to be a miracle worker. So there's some trepidation as to what is going to be asked of me. And of course, when the ego's following us around, it's always going to say it's obviously something bad, or it's something that you're completely incapable of. It's always going to let you know that it's impossible for you. You cannot do it because you're flawed, you're weak, you're too fearful, you're not enough. You can't possibly fill these shoes. And that's why the ego's voice is more dominant in your mind, because you don't somehow believe that you can be that miracle worker, and in fact that you are a miracle. So of course we do a Course in Miracles, and it can feel daunting to really be that. And I think really we are building on that worthiness. And of course, that's not a personal worthiness. It's from God, as A Course in Miracles teaches us, that your worth is set by God. End of story. And you are completely and utterly worthy. That's what he's teaching us. That you are so worthy. The true you, the true perception is just everything. And what we see through the body's eyes is nothing. It's not even there. It's not true, it's not real. So we must learn to see with the light. We must learn to be the light. We must learn to pass this world by. Let it all go, so we can see what is real and reclaim our inheritance. Reclaim the truth in our minds. Take a leap, a quantum leap, back home. So yeah, what we're seeing now, for argument's sake, you're seeing me. That's not true. You're seeing a person, it's not true. You're not actually seeing a person. You're seeing a projection of your own mind. You're seeing a fictitious fantasy that's made up. This is what you want to see, therefore you will see it. And as David teaches, the ego peopled the world. So that includes you. That includes your body identity. Is a false perception. And so that seems like a huge leap, doesn't it? To say, well, to be honest, I'm sort of feeling like I'm in this body. I've got to be honest. I got asked that the other day. we had a beautiful joining with a group, and it was very, very deep. It was a wonderful joining, And a friend of mine was sharing with me, they said, well, I'm in a relationship, so I feel like I'm in a relationship with another body. They're in a romantic relationship, whatever you want to call it. So I feel like I'm with this other body, and I'm this body, and I'm with this body, and these bodies do things together. And then there's all these other bodies, and I interact with all these other bodies. But the Course is teaching me that I'm not a body, but yet I feel like I'm a body. I said, yeah, that's the big conundrum, isn't it, that we're all facing. So again, as I always repeat, it's no good saying I'm not a body, I am free, and believing that you're a body. That's just completely and utterly pointless. We have to work with where we're at and what we believe to be. And so currently, which is untrue in truth, that you're having a body experience with seeming other bodies. And so this is really another ego trap, actually, because what the ego wants to do is the ego wants to make this so hard for us and say, yeah, but you believe you're a body, and maybe it's true that I'm not a body, but yet it's so far up here and you're so down here. How on earth are you going to get there? And you think by reading this blue book, seriously, you're going to escape from time and space, and you're going to realise that you're not a body. Come on, we all know that you're a body. And so it's just always convincing you. And then the whole world is set up to be, this is your kingdom, you know, the ego's kingdom, your kingdom, with all these other bodies. And so it seemingly says, you can do whatever you want here. You can play with as many bodies as you like. You can disregard as many bodies as you like. You can do things to pleasure the body. You can do things to displeasure the body. This is your world, especially for you. You know, and so here, I've got a special show on YouTube, says the ego. And this is just your one time each week that you can be special, but we really know you're worthless and you're in a body, but you can pretend to be something that you're not. You can do that. You can have your little fake time in fake time and space, but we really know what you really are. You're just a fake. You're just a you're a Ford, you know. And that's what it's teaching us about everything that we're doing all of the time. And so the ego is wanting to teach us that. See, you believe there's another body. See, you believe your body's hurting you. So how the hell can you be a miracle worker? And what's all this to do with mind, that everything's mind? You know, you don't believe that you are mind. You believe that you are this body. And yeah, you can theorize all you like about this one mind. You know, we say it all the time, don't we? I started the show with, you know, that we want to remember that we're all one, that there is only oneness, there is only one of us here. We want to remember that. But it always comes back to, words are completely meaningless without experience. So just to say, oh, we're all one, aren't we, is just an absolute waste of time. You're wasting your breath. You know, people say it, don't we? We say it around, oh, it's one mind. Yeah, well, do you know that's true? Well, why did you say it then? You know, it's still in fantasy. It's still in complete fantasy. So luckily, we have some answers here. And so this is the reason why I'm sharing this all with you, is because this is something that I've struggled with for a long time and still do. And I'm still looking for the answers the same as what you are. And hopefully I'm wanting to be as honest as I possibly can in this fake world and this fake personality. You know, that's what I'm perceiving. So I'm trying to be as authentic as possible in this very moment. Because of course, I was talking to a friend the other day, and we were sharing about, well, yeah, the ego can use A Course in Miracles as much as anything to push people away. It can be used to brutalize, you know. through your knowledge of A Course in Miracles, seeming knowledge. It's not knowledge until it's actually known, experienced. And so, you know, most of us sitting here now with me have read a lot of the Course, so you know a lot about it. And you probably say things which you've not even experienced. You know, I'm putting my hand up. I do it. You know, oh, it's just one mind. Well, you don't believe that, do you? Because you're just believing you're talking to me. So why did you even say that? You have to have an experience of that, where it all starts to fully drop away. And we may be fortunate to have had those experiences, those glimpses. But until it's over, it's not over. So there's no middle ground, as David was sharing the other day about his friend who was sharing with him saying, oh, I'm 80% rid of the ego. And David shared, well, you're either rid of the ego or you're not. You know, there's no, even if you were 99% egoless, there's still the 1% where the fear and the doubt is going to creep into the mind. So it's either over or it's not. That's what I love about A Course in Miracles. I'm a kind of black and white kind of type of person. So it's like you're either in or you're out. It's kind of simple. You either know right here and now that you're absolutely everything, or you don't. So right now I'm in the camp of, okay, I don't know that I'm everything. So we're working towards that. And that's why we need a lot of help. God help me. Show me, reveal to me that I am deluded. So this is why we need huge experiences to transform the mind from this delusional state of being, this hallucination. So it's going to take everything we've got, and that's why I'm broadcasting right now, because I need this help. I need a lot of help. And I need to strengthen the truth in my mind. I need a complete shift. I need to see with the light. And I pray for that. And I pray for that for you too. And so, you know, it's beautiful. I think all of us who are doing the Course in Miracles here, it's like, you know, we love that. I am not a body, I am free. You know, something inside of us was telling us, yeah, I don't believe that I am what I am, even though I'm experiencing it. There has to be something else. There has to be another level. I feel trapped. That's what I think I felt before all this spiritual business come into my life. I felt like I feel trapped, like in this body. This body seems to contract me. I'm trapped within it. I can't necessarily escape and be who I want to be. And didn't know what that was. And so when we get the statements like, I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me, something inside tells us, wow, I knew that. And of course, so we're coming from the Master, aren't we? The Master is teaching us. So he's beyond all of this. And he's saying, yeah, you're not a body. Because he transcended the body. So we need someone who has transcended the body to guide us all home. And of course, you know, there's many. And as he teaches in the Manual for Teachers, there are guides here in bodies guiding us. And there are guides which do not have bodies, which are guiding us, you know. So there's plenty of help around, that's for sure. We just have to believe that help is there, and we have to know it. We have to experience it and know it, that we are being completely and utterly looked after. As he said, if you only knew who walked with you, who walks with you, you know. I was talking about this the other night, and that actually can be seemingly personal to this body. because as we know, this body needs a lot of help. So I have a lot of helpers. So most of us here, I'm sure if you're watching this, we have Jesus. He's our helper. He's a great help. He's a really good one to have on your side. He's now beyond the body. He realised that his body identity was completely and utterly illusion. So that's something worth having on your side. We have the Holy Spirit and we have God. That's what we have from A Course in Miracles, helping us. And also we have our brothers. We have each other guiding us along. So there we go. We've got seeming bodies to join with and to help us. And then we might have come from other traditions. We might like other things. We might like angels, for argument's sake. We might like Archangel Michael, for instance. Some people have been brought up with Archangel Michael, or other angels that are there to support us. And it's really whatever resonates with you inside. Some of it might have been other spiritual practices that we've done to bring us to this point. So, you know, for me, like I love Ramana Maharaji, you know, I love him to pieces, and I do feel him close to me. And so, you know, he's a guiding light, that's for sure. He's another transcended the body. And so he's important, you know, he's a good helper. So I like to keep friends with him. And then I also love Paramahansa Yogananda. He's a wonderful being. He helped me get over the fear of the word God. He showed it to me in a new way that I'd never heard before. And he's been a great help. You know, Babaji as well. I love Babaji. The amazing avatar. And so it's like whatever help you can get, what does it matter? We need all the help we can get to be miracle workers. And the ones that I'm sharing with you are the miracle workers. They're the ones that have let go of all of this. And so this has been very, very deep in my heart, this question, because it's the ultimate question, isn't it? How do I transcend this self-identity? That's probably the question that we were all asking in the back of our minds as to why we got A Course in Miracles, because it's the manual for transcending time and space. The same as any authentic spirituality. So again, we're not bigging up A Course in Miracles. We're not trying to make it into something special. It's, as Jesus says, it's part of the universal curriculum. It's just one part of the universal curriculum. In the end, it leads to the same place. But he, as part of that, which is what I love about it, he gives us something to do and be. And he gives us the function of a miracle worker. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And so I wanted to read something to you about this, because it kind of feels important about our steps. Because as I've just been sharing, that what we do to ourselves and what I do to myself is like, rather than taking the next step, we want to take 30 steps and that we're not even ready for. So, you know, here's I'm not a body, I am free, and I'm down here. How am I going to get there? And I'm jumping up to it, but there's no way in the world I'm ever going to be able to jump up to that state. And Jesus says, yeah, well, that's because it's step by step, bit by bit. And so here's our next step. And I'd completely and utterly forgotten this line. And I think it's very, very important for us to really, really take into our hearts as to what the body's used for. Because I think equally, where we speak of non-duality, we can use that to push things away, to disown our function, to get lost in non-duality. Oh, there is no one outside. You know, Jesus says there is no other. And I use that, you know, and I love it. And it touches me when he says there is no other. But I believe there's others. So I have to be realistic. I feel something stirring in my heart when I say there are no others. It rings true to me. But yet it's not my full experience. So that's what's needed. And so it was funny actually, because this felt actually perfect. And it's right at the start of the book, chapter 1. And as he says, that the first few chapters, the whole book lays heavy. The teachings lay heavy. The foundations are rich. So we must get the foundation right in the book. So I know, you know, I know it for myself. Often, you know, with a book, you think, well, the end of the book is better. And sometimes we forget to go back over the basics. But if we haven't got the basics right in A Course in Miracles, then you're going nowhere. And yeah, this stuff really needs to be cemented in. We need to get the metaphysics right in our mind until they do become the experience, because otherwise, as he's teaching here, we're in complete and utter fantasy. So we need a lot of help with changing our perception of what's happening. And it was beautiful actually, because I just turned to this the other day, and funny enough, when I sat down here just a moment ago, I undone the book, and it was the very page that I wanted to be on, and I hadn't even marked this book because this book's not even mine. So this is a studio book. So it's like he really wanted me to get this straight away. He was like, there you go, there's the page. And so this is from chapter 1, The Meaning of Miracles. And this is in section 7, and it's distortions of miracle impulses. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I highly recommend you do, because it's absolutely fabulous. And so it was actually how I promoted, I don't know what you want to call it. It's what inspired the show today. So I'm going to be reading from paragraph 2. And he says, "Child of God, you were created to create the good, the beautiful, and the holy. Do not forget this." So I'm going to read this again to you. So he's talking directly to you. Child of God, you were created to create the good, the beautiful, and the holy. Do not forget this. So, pretty important. If he's saying do not forget this, he doesn't say that everywhere. So, this is very, very important. The love of God for a little while must still be expressed through one body to another, because vision is still so dim. There you go. Because I think when we get into this and we get into non-duality, we can think, oh, well, there are no bodies. Okay, I've got to pretend that there's no bodies, so there's nothing to really do there, and I've just got to do this seeming inner work. And he's actually teaching us a very, very important lesson here. And he's saying, you believe in bodies. You believe you're a body. Don't deny it. So I'm going to work with you with that. So we're going to read it again. The love of God for a little while, because obviously it's not the truth, what we're talking about here. It's not the full truth. The love of God for a little while must still be expressed through one body to another, because vision is still so dim. So while you're believing in these bodies, you can extend that love to another body. And that's absolutely okay to say that, to believe that you're extending the love of God to another body. That's what you perceive. Because the light in you is still too dim to see that they are light, and in fact that you are the light. That you're to make this merge of oneness. Because often we can get fearful of this, can't we? Because of course the Course in Miracles talks a lot about specialness, special relationships, and we can get fearful of all these things and push things away. I can admit to that. I'm very good at pushing bodies away. No, the Course is teaching me I don't need bodies, I need you. But in actual fact, why would he put this in the first chapter of the book? And why is he telling us, do not forget this? This is extremely, extremely important stuff. So we don't want to be metaphysically ghosting over the top of our experience, which is actually wasting time because you believe that there's a body there. So you are a miracle worker to other bodies because that's what you believe in. Until you don't believe in that. So, you know, and fair enough, if you don't believe in bodies and you've had that direct experience and you're in that experience now, then that's absolutely fine. Then you see it all as one. But right now, we really want to get to that place of oneness. That's the only reason why I'm here. I'm not here to waste anybody's time or mess around. I want to get to oneness, and I want to get there the quickest route possible. And this is what he's got for us. So here we go. You can use your body best to help you enlarge your perception so you can achieve real vision of which the physical eye is incapable. So this is the reason why you are extending as a miracle worker to seemingly other bodies. As David actually shared the other day, he was sitting in meditation and he heard, you know, that all relationships are to see that there are no relationships. And this is exactly what Jesus is teaching us here. And he's teaching us from where we're at. So I am going to go over it again because this is very important. You can use your body best to help you enlarge your perception so you can achieve real vision of which the physical eye is incapable. So it's like we have to go in this direction to one another. That's why he says you cannot be saved alone. A lot of spiritual paths are different. Sitting there in meditation, there's nothing wrong with that. I love meditation. And that's more of a individual path, so to speak. Many hours. Buddhism, for instance, certain traditions meditate for many hours, often on their own. As you get more spiritually advanced, they go off and they stay in solitude, and that's an absolutely beautiful way. But through this, and that's another way of letting go of the body, of course. But our way is different. Our way is using the bodies, using what we see. And so we don't want to be denying that. So obviously, I'm you know, this is, I may sound like I'm preaching, but I'm preaching to myself, believe you me, because I have struggled with this. And it's in chapter 1. So vitally important, this stuff. Okay. So now, I'll have to read that again so the next bit makes sense. You can use your body best to help you enlarge your perception so you can achieve real vision's on the table, of which the physical eye is incapable. Learning to do this is the body's only true usefulness. Wow. Because often we talk a lot about the mind, but we don't talk about the body. And there can actually be guilt in this, that, oh God, I'm believing that this body is doing something. And in actual fact, the best thing that you can use your body for is to enlarge your perception for real vision. And that is using your body to extend this love of God to another body, until eventually you see there are no bodies. So I think this is probably clearing up a lot of things for a lot of people. Because we can't leap over things, we can't miss any step. So this is a vitally, vitally important step. I mean, even in the next bit, because now in the next bit, I'll let you read on, but he starts then talking about fantasy is a distorted form of vision. And so what you're seeing is fantasy. But we don't realise that. So he's working with us where we're at as miracle workers. And so the reason why, actual fact, I'm so grateful that this all come together. I can't wait to listen back to this to reinforce it in my own mind. The reason why this came to me actually was from well, this was what the teachings were for me this week. But then it was kind of cemented in place through the movie session that we had last night, where we watched the movie Tangled. So if you haven't seen that movie, Tangled, it's a Disney movie. I highly recommend it. And that's actually where I came up with the title of Miracle Worker, because that's actually what I saw her doing. It's about a girl called Rapunzel who has this special hair that grows really, really long, and it has magical powers to heal. And in the beginning, she feels unworthy, but she's very, very curious about the world, but she's trapped in a tower, and she wants to experience the world. She wants to actually go and see these lanterns. She wants to go towards the light. And so, to enable her to get to where she needed to go, she had to be a miracle worker. And so along the way, on her journey, she met a lot of interesting characters, shall we say, that were troubled. Thugs, thieves, that were difficult. They've had they're struggling with their identity, basically. And when she came along, she shared her dreams with them. She said, hey, I want to go and see the lanterns. That's my dream. And she enabled all these seeming criminals, shall we call them, she enabled them to then come out and find themselves. And through her just simply sharing from her heart, enabled everybody else to begin to find themselves. And that's really what a miracle worker is. A miracle worker is here to inspire the truth, to inspire us to find who we are, to find our true nature. And as we said, that's step by step. And that's what I saw her doing. Wherever she wanted to share the good. She wanted to share the beautiful. She wanted to share holiness. She wanted to include everybody. And she was going through her own dilemma of, had she done wrong? Had she done right? But yet her heart was in the right place. She wanted to extend this joy and this love all of the time. And that was seemingly through her body, until in actual fact, through the movie, she actually manages to see the light. Which is exactly what we're doing. So like this movie is a microcosm of what we're doing. So I highly recommend watching it if you didn't see it. And there's going to be commentary by David, which will really light the whole thing up for you. And so this just felt like a very sort of important topic to really, really go into, because I think we can shy away from our function as miracle workers. And it can be easy to forget. I can forget it. I feel unworthy at times to play this role, to play the role that the Spirit wants for me. But you know, I want to empty this vessel out of what I'm believing and what I'm thinking. And that, because and this is another interesting part of it. I've been going down to 1 meal a day. Just been doing that purely because I get addicted to food, and it was in the beginning, it was egoic because I wasn't enjoying how my body looked. I was just thinking, God, you're getting fat. So it started off, as I shared on previous shows, from this egoic place. But in actual fact, it's been very, very interesting. Now I'm sort of being honest with with where I'm at, and then wanting to say, okay, well, Holy Spirit, there must be a reason for this. I want you to fill me up. And that has felt like that's been really the whole point. It's like, somehow metaphorically, that in not eating so much, I'm enabling myself to be filled by him. And it was interesting actually, because on my YouTube, I was just scrolling through YouTube last night, and there was this Orthodox church, and there was a monk, and he was sharing about fasting, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. So I clicked on it, and he was saying, yeah, what he does is he says really that food is nothing, and this body is nothing, and therefore I am doing nothing. So it's nothing is feeding nothing. And I thought, wow, how interesting is that? Because obviously they're pretty much on the same page as us. Their teachings are very, very deep. That, you know, they know that there is only one mind. You know, there's Christ's mind, and their practice is to achieve that same as us. So what I'm seemingly doing for the body is completely and utterly nothing. Eating is nothing. There's an illusion of food, and I'm putting it into the illusion. I'm eating illusion from an illusion. It's kind of really, really interesting. And so what he was saying like, yeah, if you can see that food is nothing, because if you're believing in food, you're believing in a body, you're believing in time and space, you're believing in the personality self, and it consistently comes back this way. But if you can see everything as that it's food is nothing and the body is nothing, you can then allow the body to be filled with something that is true. And so symbolically, in seemingly cutting down on food, you can see it as wanting to be used, filled up with something else, making space to be filled up, to be that miracle worker, to be able to extend that love. And so I really, really, really like that. I thought, yeah, that's it. I'm wanting to let go of this nothingness, this personality identity, and be filled by something that is whole, perfect and complete. And again, that's why this is actually very, very individualized. I'm just sharing this. I'm not sharing this for anybody to follow what I'm doing whatsoever. That's not the purpose. I'm just sharing what I'm doing. And I'm wanting to see where my ego is and where the spirit is in my mind. And I want to strengthen the spirit and lessen the ego. And so that just takes guidance, to be guided in a way, to hand this all over, to share our miracle, to be shown where he wants to give the miracle, to share God's love with whoever, because sometimes that's not appropriate with everyone. So we have to use that discernment. So it's a very good practice of listening and following. So that feels very, very important to me this week. So this is definitely going to be my practice, that I'm going to be enlarging my perception so I can see with real vision, as Jesus is teaching me, and to show me where I'm not seeing, with true vision that these body eyes cannot see. And I want to see. So yeah, I just ask you to join me in these very deep prayers. May we be blessed with miracles this week. May we find our holiness. May we bless the world. May we bless one another, that we can find true light, that we can see with true vision, that we can experience this true love that is always available to us, that we can transcend time and space and remember our true identity. So thank you so much for joining me. Feels like such a pleasure. Thank you so much. And I'm just reminded, actually, funny enough, I'm talking about these things. We have an online retreat starting tomorrow on the illusion of time. So I welcome you warmly to join us with David, Francis and Eric. So that's going to be a wonderful time. I'll be in Zoom in the background, so I'll get to see you all. So lots of love, everyone, and many blessings, and let's expect miracles. Bye for now.